Members of the Board of Supervisors, greetings from the employees who serve the community. My name is James Starr. I'm the chair of UPE and a member of the 008 UPE bargaining team. And for what it's worth, I've worked for the county since 1985.
Thank you.
It would have been nice to start out by saying good evening, but I can't because it isn't. We didn't want to be here tonight, but we had to come because we have a message. Contract negotiations started in January, and here we are in late April, almost May, and there's still no contract. Inflation is out of control, and Sacramento County can't recruit enough people to fill hundreds of vacancies. In my department alone, DHA. And those you can recruit, they are not staying. But your county negotiators have not brought enough money to the table to keep even with inflation, let alone provide any incentive to stay with the county and make it a career, as I have done. The people you see here tonight serve the community through the worst pandemic in 100 years. But we don't feel our service is valued. Most of us are doing the work of two people because there aren't enough employees to do the work. We're tired of the overwhelming workload. We're tired of working overtime. And if your managers were to be honest with you, they'd have to admit that overtime is all that's keeping county services running. And that their employees are completely burned out. And county pay doesn't buy what it used to. Not at the grocery store, not at the gas pump. We're not making it. This can't go on. And it won't go on. If your negotiators are telling you that we won't strike for a livable wage that truly supports our families, then they're wrong. Listen, they're wrong. Because we will strike if we have to. If you make us, we'll strike. That's our message tonight. Are you listening?
Thank you.
Board of Suits.
Yeah.
And I'm here today because what is going on at the negotiations table on behalf of the county is absolutely disgusting and atrocious. It is atrocious, and I am sadly disappointed in our county executive as the former director of DHHS and DHA that you would allow them to come to your old stomping ground and basically crap on us. Because throughout COVID, we have fought for essential worker status. We had to go and buy our own PPE. We had to provide that. I had to reach out on social media to you, Phil, to come and deliver PPE to emergency response social workers because unlike probation and law enforcement, we still were mandated to go into the houses and check on families. We were still mandated to go out and check on these families, monthly visits, weekly visits, 2 times a week visits, 24 hours a day. We were running an agency. And we were running an agency on the backs of these people here. We were keeping children safe. We were keeping families fed. We were trying to keep people housed. I have a sign back there that says, I will work for a fair wage, because all we ever hear about is the homeless situation. How many of your employees are going to be homeless? It is despicable and disgusting that the people that were servicing this county the most during COVID had to actually come and negotiate ARPA. That we had to get that because your former executive took all of the money for the CARES Act and gave it to other people who weren't even going into homes. And yet, what's even more despicable is the fact that the people that weren't even responding during COVID, like probation, got a 10% increase. Got a 10% raise. They got to monitor probationers from home. We were in homes, oftentimes with delayed response from law enforcement, conducting investigations for child support or checking on the welfare of the elderly, the disabled, your most vulnerable populations. I've worked for this county for 18 and a half years. I am in the master's program right now after 18 and a half years as a human services social worker in CPS. Okay? I am not going to take a pay cut when I get my master's degree.
As you should.
Because what I'm going to do is, if that is the case, I won't even become a master's degree social worker in this county. all become a manager or a director, because that's the only way change is going to happen. When these people that are in the front line start to make changes, instead of people that have never been on the line, people so far removed from the community in which they live, that they're supposed to be servicing, because they live in areas like Granite Bay or El Dorado Hills or Roseville, Rockland, instead of actually with the people that you are supposed to be serving and supporting. And right now, you have a lot of workers that are not supported. You have a lot of workers that had to fight to be essential. You had a lot of workers that were doing the job when no one else wanted to go do it. So you need to remember that, because if you think we didn't learn from SCTA, we learned a lot from SCTA. And if you notice, we've got another union with us. So then, I beg the question, who's going to do all your social work duties when we are not there and they are not there? Is it going to be them?
Okay, thanks, Julie.